Coming into this week, I'm expecting overall bullish action based off the reaction of this weekly bullish leg up we formed last or 2 weeks ago, and last week we traded into it, showing us we want to see higher closing the week out like a doji. Um, on the daily time frame, we have a lower time frame daily SMT at these lows with ES. Let me pull up ES. I don't have my second monitor up. If you look at the weekly on ES, actually, we traded right off 50% of that weekly for value gap right here, which is a lot cleaner than ES or NQ trading pretty much all the way through it, filling the whole range. We also left a 4-hour little ass for value gap right here. So overall this week I am bullish. I want to see these highs be my draw on liquidity. We are currently sitting in a 4-hour inverse for value gap and a 4-hour bearish for value gap, but I think price will trade through these highs. I think we will see potentially Monday or Tuesday rebalance the previous week's range, so potentially trade into this range right here, rebalance previous week's range, and then we can start seeing higher off of that to these highs. And I want to see this high be my weekly draw on liquidity and us run this high if we're going to have a bullish week this week. I do want to see a nice bullish week. Where's Discord?
Are you recording?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
All right, thank you.
Just forget.
Yeah. Looking at the economic calendar, we have no news Monday, Tuesday. We have FOMC mini minutes on Wednesday, and then we have CPI and PPI on Thursday and Friday. So we could potentially see. I think this is a very high probability scenario we're going to see. Monday storm normally just like trade up, like just chop around. Tuesday we might see us like same thing, like same range, similar to what we saw right here, something like this, and then we could see maybe Wednesday or Thursday trade back into that previous week's range and then reach higher. This is not an ideal scenario. This would be a horrible week if it ends up doing this. Ideally, I would want to see Monday trade into this range. Tuesday start reaching higher, then Wednesday and Thursday expand higher. We could also see a Monday accumulation, Tuesday manipulation, and then Wednesday and Thursday reach higher. That would be a classic bye week. So I'm coming into this week very neutral at the start of the week. Very neutral Monday and Tuesday because we have no news and we are sitting in this imbalance right here. And typically at the beginning of a week, if we have a bullish week, we could expect some sort of accumulation and manipulation. Someone's Huntaro, I'm sad. I blew my 50K funded with scalping, forgot to close the limit. Damn, just now? Can someone help me chart gold? Let me look at gold. I don't feel like charting that right now. Actually, should have it in this call. So here's a quick tip on how to find your higher time frame bias and draw on liquidity. So I'm gonna use last week as an example because, and then I'm gonna use this week as an example but like I'm gonna use last week because we already saw last week's price action. So last week, let's say we haven't had this yet. Last week we saw a bullish fair value gap right here, and price also on the 4-hour time frame last week we saw us reach into our daily fair value gap. So you always want to start on the higher time frame, like the weekly and the daily, to see the PD rates we're trading off of or going to start trading towards. So what I saw on the daily was we traded into a daily bearish fair value gap off 50%, and we left a weekly bullish fair value gap. So higher time frame balances are going to always act as a magnet in the chart. So they're always great draws in liquidity as a higher time frame balances. So last week we saw us trade inside daily, left the buy side weekly for value gap. So, and on the 4-hour we had these smooth lows or lower resistance liquidity, which are pretty much a magnet on the chart for draw on liquidity for price to run. And as you can see, we actually ran that very nicely down to that weekly imbalance and saw a reaction higher. So how I would frame my bias now is on the weekly, like I always start on the weekly. If there's nothing on the weekly, then I'll go to the daily. But I always start on the weekly. On the weekly, we traded into that weekly bullish fair value gap. This is telling us we want to see higher. Like if we saw the weekly trade into here and then we saw us trade through it, then I would expect potentially lower for this week. Like these lows here or some lows inside of here. But on the weekly, we traded into it and then saw a nice bullish reaction off of that. So overall, higher time frame is telling us bullish. Then I want to go to the daily. On the daily, see if we have any SMTs. Higher time frame SMTs. We have a daily SMT here, as well as a SMT at all-time highs. But this SMT, we've actually been trading through it because we've had this SMT with all-time highs since this high. But we've been trading through it. So honestly, I think this SMT will fail and NQ will start reaching for all-time highs, depending on how we react off these highs here. So on the daily, we saw respect off that. So looks like price is trading towards these highs right here. And that is literally how you find a draw on liquidity. It's the most simple thing in the world. And then for intraday draw, for scalp store, that I will hop down to like the 4 hours, see if we have any imbalances. The 1 hour, see if we have any imbalances, same thing. And then I would frame my daily profile off the 15-minute and the 1 hour time frame. So I'll start doing that right now. Mark out the daily open. Alright, I have all these lines on my chart. So I'll mark out the daily open right here. This is the daily opening price. I'm gonna delete this box. This big ass box. Distracting me. And then I'll mark out my midnight open because it is now 12:28 a.m. So our midnight opening candle has opened. And right now, market just opened a few hours ago, so there's not much to see right now. We're just seeing like a Asian range accumulation, but this is how I would frame my daily profile, right? So overnight, if I see us trade lower, like if I see Asian accumulation and then London start trading lower down to previous day's range, and I'll be looking for longs to target these overnight highs that were left overnight. Only if I get confirmation that we're going to reach toward those highs, right? If I don't get confirmation, then I'm not going to be taking longs. If I see NQ and London open trade lower, and then we see ES or NQ start open and trade lower, and we actually trade back into this 4 hour, and then displace lower off of that, then I'll actually be looking for shorts. If I see, let's say we see Asian accumulate, and then we see London trade higher, like something like this. Then right here, we set out these highs, and I would probably anticipate a lower price action to reach lower. It's all based on how we react to these highs here. If we see a nice reaction or a nice sweep off these highs, and we have a potential SMT at these highs, then I will be looking for shorts down to the overnight lows and the daily opening or the daily low. If we see overnight accumulate, then I will wait for a New York session to manipulate one way or another for me to take a position. Hey Hunter, how can you identify when not to use an SMT? So I only like to use SMTs, like higher time frame SMTs for bias. So a daily SMT here would be used as a bias because we're coming off this higher time frame SMT, and a lower time frame SMTs I would use for entries. So let's say we have like a 1 minute SMT with this high here. We trade up. This is just an example. We trade up and sweep out this SMT here, or sweep out this high right here, putting in an SMT. I would wait and see if, let's say my draw on liquidity is lower. If I have a lower draw and I'm overall bearish on the day, then this would be SMT I'm willing to take because this right here is the overnight high. So this is a time-based liquidity. So time-based liquidity with SMTs always are the strongest type of SMTs. And then I would wait for, like, since we have a strong time-based liquidity SMT turtle soup, and let's say my draw on liquidity is lower, I'm actually willing to immediately enter off this SMT. So I'd enter on the next down close candle, put my stop loss at the high, and target the overnight lows. You will never know before you enter a trade, right? That's why you enter a trade and you put the risk up to see if you do know. If we invalidate this S&P and keep trading higher, then my bias was just wrong. But that's why you have to have the right, like that's why you have to pair everything together with your draw on liquidity. Like a lower time from SMT, like a SMT, just a random ass 1 minute SMT in charts. I'm disregarding. Like let's see what SMT here. I'm disregarding this SMT. It's not really anything substantial. You want to use SMTs with your buys. Treat it like a fair value gap, for instance. Treat SMTs like fair value gaps. If we see pretty much price trade through this high, something like this, then I would honestly just be waiting to see. I would frame either a new draw on liquidity, or if I'm still bearish, I would wait for like a change in state of delivery. If we still have an SMT. Alright, let me scroll to see. I'm okay, just not trade Monday and Tuesday. Yeah, I'm not gonna. So for my plan for this Monday and Tuesday is I'm gonna be on the call looking at the charts. If I see something I do like, I will take it. I'm gonna do lower risk though, lower risk because I'm not expecting Monday or Tuesday to move well. So what I'm expecting right now I'm expecting Monday and Tuesday just to engineer liquidity for Wednesday, FOMC main minutes at 2 p.m. Because typically price engineers liquidity for high impact news events to run those highs or lows. So we might see a range Monday, Tuesday, just engineering liquidity. So bias is bullish. Why would you take a short? I understand AMD. You just answered your question because of AMD. If you're expecting a bullish week, you don't want to see the week to just go straight up. That's incredibly unlikely and rarely ever happens, and not what you want to see if you are bullish. Is a straight bullish week, everyday bullish. I'm gonna show you something. There's many types of weekly profiles you have to look at. There's Thursday or Wednesday reversals. There's classic buy and classic bull week, classic buy and classic sell weeks. Let me pull it up, the weekly profiles. But Monday typically never is an expansion day, especially with no news. Monday never expands. If you're a bullish week, Monday will never expand. Like I give you like maybe 6% of the time Monday will expand higher if you have a bullish week. Where is it? I have so many channels I can't even find it. Oh, here it is. So we have a classic Tuesday low of the week, which pretty much is a Monday accumulation, Tuesday manipulation. So Tuesday right here would actually be a bearish day. This would be a bearish day. Sometimes we don't see a continuous expansion on Tuesday. We might just see a bearish day on Tuesday and then Wednesday expand higher. But this would be a Tuesday low of the week, and then we see a Wednesday and Thursday expand higher, and Friday either continue higher or trade back in within their weekly range. But sometimes we see Tuesday either can react off previous day low and then start trading higher, or actually just put in the low of the week and continue trading higher the whole day for Tuesday, and then Wednesday starts trading higher. But there's many scenarios for, and this would be a bearish scenario. But there are many types of weekly profiles. Honestly, you don't have to memorize every single weekly profile. I would just like have an idea with it because this sometimes can be confusing. I like low-key like just stick to power of 3 and draw on liquidity, and once you master that, you can weekly profiles honestly will just fall into place. It would just start making sense when you see how price expands, because price is going from inefficiency to liquidity, it's back to inefficiency. I don't feel like typing all that out. Y'all get the point. Yeah, it's in there's a bunch of PDFs in here and videos. I'm trying to make more videos for all of these, but it's somewhere in here, bro. I have so many channels, dude. I gotta find it. Yeah, right here. It's in here. I have a video on daily profiles right here. Very brief explanation, but it's honestly just power of 3 on the daily time frame. Huntaro, how long do you think your streak will last? Also, you're gonna TP early. Honestly, bro, I can't tell you how long my streak will last. I can't tell you. I hope as long as possible. I can only hope for as long as possible, right? I'm only want to take nice trades. And if I lose taking a nice trade, so be it. I mean, but if I lose taking a shit trade, then that's my fault. Just picked up another VWAL after blowing my phone. Elitist victory. I got you, bro. How'd you blow an account overnight? I I read it somewhere. About 90 more days, hopefully. 90 more days. That's the rest of quarter four. Hopefully, no losing trades all of quarter four. Don't worry, I record this entire call. Do you use multiple entry models or just throw? So I use multiple entry models. I use two. I see my most used entry models are two types of entry models. Uh, Turtle Soup SMT or Turtle Soup SMT inverse fair value gap. So it's really simple. You'll if you watch my lives, you'll see I only take really two types of setups, two or three types. And then I never enter on the soup either. That's like trying to catch a falling knife. I never enter immediately as we soup the high. I always wait for the next candle closure back within the range, and it's always like, it's not gonna fuck up your RR. It's always a super nice entry too. So I never enter on the soup, on the immediately in soup. I enter on the down close candle back within the range. So it will look like this, and then I target my draw. That's what would be a turtle soup SMT entry. Then this would be like an inverse fair value gap entry. I take these entries when I'm not as confident in the trade, or yeah, I just less confidence in it playing out. I like to wait for more confluences, like an inverse fair value gap. Like so, that's when I would take that. Something like this. And target whatever the draw. Those are the main two types of setups I take. How long do you plan on doing this Discord, bro? I don't know. As long as possible. I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. As long as possible. Hunter, you like the rage bait? It's alright. These odds are sick as fuck. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Thank you, Renee. You're always here. You're always joining. What's the candlestick indicator called? This right here is called higher time frame power of 3. It's this one right here. Power of 3. The indicator is called. It's this one right by 2 degrees higher time frame power of 3. You can there's actually a setting on it. Right now I have it on the daily candle, but you can make it the 4-hour candle. I like the daily candle though. It just shows you if we're trading above or below opening price. It's really all I use it for. As you can see, this is the daily open right here. You can see I have it marked out. So this line is perfectly aligned with the opening body. And we're trading above the daily open, resulting in a bullish day so far. So let's say we are bearish, then you would ideally looking to be taking shorts above the daily open. So when price is bullish, you'd be like ideally like looking to take shorts if we are bearish. Bro just got I can't read every comment. I'm trying to. Hold on. What do you say? Is it because I'm old as fuck? What's because you're old? I don't. Why is he old? Like, what's because he's old? And no, bro, my co-owner is like 38 years old with 2 kids.
Bendy?
Bendy has one kid. No, his name is FX Stefan. You know
Yeah, I see him.
my co-owner is grown man. When are you gonna ask for a payout? So I thought about that actually. FX Stefan is not Bendy's kid, bro. I know it's not Bendy's kid. FX Stefan is a completely different person than Bendy. I'm saying FX Stefan has kids too. He's
Alright,
not
I
Bendy.
started that shit.
Bro, Nick is retarded. No, I'm kidding.
I don't know where he got.
So I plan on taking a payout when I can withdraw 10,000. So either when my account balance gets to 20K or when I have 30 trading days. So I think I can get that in like a week or two. But when the account balance, when I can withdraw 10K is when I'll request a payout. So probably in a week or two. Anyone want to buy a kid? $6. All right, look, I gotta end this live. This live is gonna send me to prison.